It's me. I'm here. I'm finally back. If you're looking for an explanation as to what happened, don't. And then sit down as I tell you what happened. So pretty much, I got sick. That's about it. So I got sick, and now I'm over it, mostly. So, I'm gonna level with you. I already tried to record this before, and my sickness got me, like, acting crazy, right? I could not stay on topic. I also refused to make a checklist for this. I am out of ideas practically. After this, or maybe a part two, depending on how I actually end up formatting this, I'm probably just gonna look at the, I don't know, Wikipedia list for like tropes and give my opinions on them or something. I don't know. Give me ideas, please, love of God, give me ideas on what to talk about in the weird hours of the night. So, I asked a friend a few days ago, I think it was 4 days ago to be specific, and he said, talk about Hunt Showdown because you need to let it out of your system. And I looked at him proverbially, because I asked him over Discord. So I drink water. And I looked at him proverbially, because I asked him over Discord, and I decided, you know what? You're onto something. So here we are, for me to talk about Hunt Showdown, and my dislike for the way the game has shifted. So, if you don't know what Hunt Showdown is, either get it through osmosis or stop right here, look into it. I will preface this by saying I can't, in good faith, recommend it anymore because I used to play it back when it was good, before it became Hunt Showdown 1896, and it was just Hunt Showdown. So I can't, in good faith, recommend it. But I still would tell you to like look into it. Maybe I don't know. Maybe you'll find what I can no longer find. May Hunt Showdown rest in peace, staying forever in my heart as a cool game. At one point, at least. So, just scanning through all my stuff in my various like Steam library, checking all the stuff. So I've opened up my Steam library for one good reason. It was to open up and let you know when I had last played. June 30th, 2024. Almost an entire year ago, I stopped playing. Let's check my game stats. I've never done this before. Okay, never mind. Uh, 26 out of 36 achievements. I still haven't gotten 5 Ace Hand. I was working on that before I gave up on the game. Until it fixes itself, I guess, pretty much. So, what am I saying? Well, first I must paint you a picture of history. And a little bit of myself, I suppose. I'm not really an avid sort of gamer. I guess I used to be, but I'm not anymore. Right? Say 10 years ago, I would have been constantly playing, what? Black Ops 3 at the time, Minecraft, and maybe like one or two other things. Who really remembers 10 years ago, yeah. Hell, even 5 years ago, I was more of an avid gamer than I was now. Uh, Over time, I don't know, grew apart from gaming. Obviously, I still play games and everything. Dark Souls 2 Mechanicus on this. The Heartless was like proof of that, but like, I stopped really playing video games and more just interacted with video games. Obviously, it's still like hop on, friends wanted to play, yeah, sure, I'll get on, stuff like that. But usually it's just like, oh, I'll watch, what's this game, Aneurysm 4? Sure, I'll look into it, that sounds funny. How do you become the vomit coffin? I'm sure you've seen that video and you recommended. Uh, Oddly algorithm pull, truly. But like, no game really spoke to me anymore. I guess you could call me a fucking boomer, even though I'm not at all a boomer. But like, I just don't get new games. Unironically, I just don't get new games. Both in the I don't buy new games and in the sense of I don't understand them. I never really got into Fortnite despite being there since it came out 2017. I seldom, if ever, play it. I've stopped being interested in Call of Duty past, I want to say Black Ops 3. Maybe got a few others after that, but I've since not been interested. Um, I didn't get into Apex. I didn't get into Valorant at all, thank God. Never got into Overwatch or Overwatch 2. I'm still not into Marvel Rivals. I have Fragpunk on Steam. I've just never booted it up or anything like that. However, Hunt Showdown, it captured my heart because of its stark differences. Now, if you don't know, Hunt Showdown is what you could consider cowboy-esque, even though it really isn't cowboy game. I didn't check my audio. I just fiddled with my wires. I hope I A didn't start off bad sounding, B didn't make it worse or anything like that. So, um, Hunt Showdown, man, it was something that I never really got into extraction shooters either. Lord forbid me from getting interested into a game like Tarkov. Like genuinely, Lord forbid that. Put a ward upon my soul, Jesus, and ensure this. Because I'm not gonna get into fucking Tarkov or any of the other extraction shooters, because that's just really not for me. I guess, like, I don't know, it just doesn't seem fun, except for Hunt Showdown. Mostly because the risk of extraction was just like whatever guns you brought in, because you're not there for loot. Hunt Showdown's different in the regards of it's PvPvE. What do I mean by that? Well, it's like the map, the bayou, right? Even though we now have a map, Mammon's Gulch, that is in Colorado, but there's still bayous in my heart. Oh, again, because I have not played in a year, I have not played I stopped just before the engine update, roughly. Um, I had never played it. I remember the culture, right, around the time, like the community, or parts of it at least, the parts I was active in, i.e., my friends and occasionally the Hunt Reddit, because something would like move across my feed, and like Home Reel and stuff like that. Hornet, Roch to Z, the big name YouTubers. I don't watch streamers. Not even just for Hunt. I just don't watch streamers. Period. I'll occasionally watch a VOD or like an edited down video. I just don't watch streamers or streams. So I remember the aura surrounding the coveted, not coveted, around the illustrious, I guess that's better, engine update. And the general consensus was kind of like either apathy or just confusion, like we don't need this, why are you updating our engine? I was of the side that was like, I guess. Okay, things will look a bit prettier, cool. I just hope. I literally remember talking to my friends like, I play this on laptop, right? I hope it doesn't fuck with my ability to play the game. Lo and behold, apparently I was a fucking prophet. I remember the day the update came out. Dude, people could not play. They fucked up something fierce, right? For something people didn't even really seem to want, or at least like there was always talks, right? Because communities like doing that of like, oh, maybe they'll swap over to the new engine. Haha, wouldn't that be so crazy and funny? Apparently, the devs over at Crytek, or more accurately, their stockholders or shareholders or something that made them change. It's like, swap over to new, you say? Ho ho ho, delightfully devilish, Seymour. Don't mind if I do. And then, Hunt Showdown went to the new engine. I didn't get it, and I unironically have not played since. I remember seeing the new UI and being confused with my friends. They genuinely spent like 8 minutes trying to figure out how to do shit in that UI, and a bunch of other stuff. I've been around for a bit. I started playing December of 2022. It was a Christmas gift to myself, right? Because I seldom buy games. I was like, fuck yeah, I don't want this Christmas to be lame like the rest. And so I bought myself a game. Something I hadn't done, I think, period. And if not period, that I had something I haven't done in years. Hadn't done in years. Um, so I've been around since December of 2022. I.e., I was there for the Devil's Moon event that came after Serpent's Moon. I was there for the Tides Trilogy event, and likely something I'm forgetting, but was fun for a time. Right, I remember the when pacts, or what, I think they're still, yeah, pacts were a new thing for events. I remember like the general consensus of being, hey, this is pretty cool. And then now the general consensus is like, okay, this is getting kind of tired and stale. Because that's all events are nowadays. It's whatever's fucking fine. I remember seeing Rotjaw come in, our first wild target, and being floored, being enamored, falling in love with that girl. Because that's a big ass gator. That's cool, man. That's cool. It's a big ass gator. That's cool, man. I remember seeing a bunch of new shit. Remember when they added the cyclone and being like, why are they adding that? That's weird. I remember the Ironside dog. That was funny. The hammer, the battle pass changes, the changes to progression, and a few other stuff. So it's not like I'm some new guy coming up to the... And even before that, I was really interested in the game. I would watch videos, stuff like that. I saw shit as it went through its progression. Take a sip of water. So it's not like I'm some new guy coming up to the block, seeing how shit changes and being like, things are changing. I have 250 hours. If I check right now, 250 hours. Well, 250.4, but 250 hours flows off the tongue easier. So, like, I feel like I know what I'm talking about. To elaborate, as I was mentioning, I didn't really play games much. At least not like I used to. I say this even though I'm, barely an adult, but like, I guess compare it to my childhood or whatever. Um, Let me take another sip of water. Ugh. So, I didn't play games much, but and I recommended them to friends even rarer. But Hunt was something else. Hunt was something cool, and I recommended it to some friends, and we didn't look back since. What we do now, like, damn, I wish the game was like it used to be when we had fun playing it. Because now we really, now they, quite frankly, don't. They hop on occasionally and say like, all these changes are fucking weird, and like we've noticed a few things. Um, but we'll get to them when I get to them. I fucking loved Hunt Showdown. It was such a breath of fresh air. The slow, methodical gunplay, the importance of sound and good positioning and communication with your teammates, the slower time to kill unless you had great, like, shot grouping, the slow reloads, the guns that felt just clunky enough, the authentic feel, air quotes authentic, shit like that. The, like, I don't really know how to explain it other than Hunt Showdown has played like no other game I've ever played before or since, in a good way. It was genuinely like a 3 lungfuls of fresh air to first play that and then get my friends hooked. And boy, were we hooked. It was unironically the only thing we would play during the summers, plural, because, 2 years of summers. We would fucking, like, nine, literally 9 to 9, be on Hunt daily. We loved that game. We squeeze it in between schools and stuff like that. It was like, it was our thing to play Hunt. To have this game we could just really like fucking lose ourselves in. We would go from geeked to locked in an instant. You would know if you play like how the second you start feeling like you're in danger, like hold on, shush, 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 you just like quiet your friends and start listening, and then immediately like focus on the game, and then once the threat's gone, you go back to dicking around with her like how it usually is. That was something else that felt so different. The atmosphere it gave. It wasn't like the few times I played like Fortnite or something with them. We were just fucking around saying whatever the hell comes to mind, right? We would genuinely focus on the game and try to, I don't know if I try to try, really. We would, like I'm saying, I'm repeating myself, focus on the game. That's not something that really any other sort of first-person shooter brought out of us, with your silly dumbass friends. Not that we still didn't have our silly dumbassery moments, right? But like it was, Hunt had a unique atmosphere. It has a bitchin' soundtrack even to this day. Judgment of the Fool, or The Fool, is a song I have had on repeat. Fort Sulphur Band may never miss. It's in their contract, I'm pretty sure. The game itself, it's a different story. Said as I am to say, Let Us Pray was. Ooh, let me tell you, Let Us Pray was something different. Loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. And oh my god, you call it madness? They are literally held at gunpoint to never miss. It's so good. Um, hold on, let me just read this in the house. It's really sick. So there's nothing else I can really do to express my love for this game outside of just going on rambles about all I know about this game, which is what I did for like an hour last time. And that's not what I'm here to explain. But I will ramble on a few things, right? I mentioned before how I like the long reloads that are typical of the gun's time period. The guns of the time period, Optimat not included. If you use an Optimat, you're a bitch. Same with Crowning King and the Dolch. If you use the Dolch, you're also a bitch. I don't do that shit. Um, I used the Berthier, the Winfield C, because it's the Winfield C. I don't give a shit what the new name is. It's the Winfield C. The Caldwell Rival, the Caldwell Pax, uh, either Stock Nagant or Officer Brawler, Drilling, and I'm forgetting a rifle, and the Martini Henry. Oh, and the Caldwell Lightning. Those are my babies. My pride and joys, and my go-to trait that I would buy immediately are like it's Beast Face, Gator Legs. Trying to remember what like were my go-to picks because it's been so long since I had to grab myself some traits. Gator Legs, Beast Face. I actually genuinely used Whispersmith a lot. Ghoul, Silent Assassin, and I would like never take Frontiersman. I never really took Doctor that much. I'd take Physician over Doctor in all honesty. Um, take a sip of water. I still know all my old tricks. Whether or not they're still effective is beyond me. It it was knife, medkit, flare gun, flex pick, vitality shot, regen shot, flex pick. I remembered it actually. It was no. It was knife, medkit, flare gun, Derringer, vitality shot, regeneration shot, flex pick, and then it evolved into vitality shot, regeneration shot, sticky bomb, flex pick. That's what it evolved into. Um, once I got more confident. Only took 400 hours. That's right. The last 50 hours were experimenting with my kit. um, I used to take dusters, but then I ended up just liking the knife a lot more. Uh, I never really liked the knuckle knife, and I would only if I took the Caldwell Pack's claw, I would get rid of the melee weapon, and I would take what were the tool slots again? I think I would just take a toolbox, and just gamble with it. Um, Pretty sure that's accurate. Anyway, I'm losing myself in the reverie of memory. It was special to me, Hunt Showdown was. To the point where I learned the map, plural maps, different values. I have favorite compounds, and when I close my eyes, I can go back there. I can draw upon the sounds in memory, like perfectly. Specific firefights live on in my head. I I know the sounds of different guns. At a glance, I can tell you what gun and maybe even the name of the skin. right? I can tell you its ammo capacity. I can tell you the ammo type it uses. I can tell you how many slots it takes. I can tell you its family, its gun family. Not any of the new names, of course. What is it's the fucking Ranger, the Frontiersman? Who knows that shit? Winfield C, Winfield Big, Winfield Vandal, Winfield Centennial. Right? I think I'm missing a Winnie. Don't know why. I don't know why. Am I missing a Winnie? Hmm. Must be new. Anyway, right? Caldwell Rival, Caldwell Conversion Chain, Caldwell Conversion Uppercut, Caldwell Pax Trusha, Caldwell Pax Claw, all this shit. Lamat, Upper Mat, it's not a haymaker, it's Upper Mat. Even though I always thought the name was stupid, it's the Upper Mat in my heart. Uh, and some shit like that. Drilling my beloved. 500 hot dollars for that shit, huh? No, it was worth it though. Uh, she was worth it. So, I like I know the bosses, right? I know how to fight Butcher. I know how to fight Spider. I know how to fight Scrapbeak. I begrudgingly know how to fight Assassin. I know how to fight Rotjaw. I don't know how to fight Hellborn. Never fought him. Right? I know how to do damage stacking. I know tricks with the crossbow. I know tricks with the throwing knives and axes. And I've practiced with the spear a bit. But you can only damage stack with that with Frontiersman. Not that you need to against the player. Right? I know when to use my stupid hand crossbow poison bolt and what times to swap over to the regular bolts that I brought on. I know when to just not bring regular bolts and just bring poison bolts. Right? I know when to remind my friend to fix his kit because he forgot consumables yet again. I know to check my bro's weapons and adjust mine accordingly. Ask them if they're going for their challenges, help them with their challenges, shit like that. Right? I know what audio traps to stay away from. I know when to trigger some things. I know to shoot the lanterns over the dog cages. Or chicken cages too sometimes. I know to loudly announce beetle. Alright, I know like when to ping, when to do the danger ping, because that goes away quicker. Right? I know, to tell them what windows, tell them the angles, tell them I hear footsteps, to tell them what skin went down and trust that they know what the skin looks like. Things like that, right? I know to save looting for my boys who are carrying enhanced dark sight because they need it more than me. Unless I have Vulture, then I know to go last. Right? I know when to announce I have Vulture, you loot first. Things like that. But that's just stiff stuff you pick up quick. Again, 450 hours, start playing December 2022. Might be newer than you watching this, but I don't consider myself like new at all. And then the engine update happened, and I didn't like it. For starters, it stopped me from being able to play. My kit just wouldn't run it anymore. I don't know why. I'm sure that's been fixed by now, but it left a sour taste in my mouth. My friend had to downgrade his drivers, and my third friend would get booted constantly. Remember how people would desync all the time, how walls would unload but still be there, right? The entire map see-through for some people, shit like that, spawning on top of each other, right? It was not good, but Mammon's Gulch was pretty. I say that like it's some like backhanded like compliment, like oh yeah, at least we got Mammon's Gulch. I genuinely do mean yay, we got Mammon's Gulch. Mammon's Gulch is probably the greatest map they've made. All of the unique verticality, like the compact nature of being in this Colorado town, it genuinely looks very pretty. And honest to God, is probably one of the more involved maps we've gotten, which I would hope so, considering it's the most recent map we've gotten. But it just wasn't enough. Not to sound greedy, but because we literally could not play the fucking game for a while. The UI update was shit. They fucking tweaked the numbers in the fucking bank. I saw that shit. They tweaked the cost of shit. I saw that. And worst of all, they added bullet drop. Now, for all of you who are out there, either new to the game or just looking out on the outside looking in going, oh, Hunt's supposed to be like this realistic take. It isn't. It's dark fantasy, right? It's dark western. or Weird West, whatever you want to call it. And years ago, I don't think I've fucking forgotten, the devs explained why they didn't have bullet drop and why there weren't plans for bullet drop. Is because they want to encourage the use of iron sights. And they felt that by adding bullet drop, it would disincentivize the use of irons and encourage more people to use scopes, which people consider wildly unfun, including myself. I only ever used irons. Not that I'm bragging. Man, I remember hitting a shot. He was basically in the next compound over. I was in Pelican. Bam! One to the head with my fucking martini. I felt like a god. I felt like a god. They said that they didn't want to add bullet drop because they felt it would be disincentivizing irons it's because to hit your shots at a certain point you would be covering them with your gun and not aiming with your irons, and that was no fun for anyone. Especially in a game that prioritizes getting the first shot off quickly and hitting them hard, and like really taking care for your bullets because reloading is slow and things of that nature, cycling your gun and all that. Which means that just the farther away, the more disadvantage you are, encouraging either use of scopes or just shotguns, which is not fun because rifles are probably the best in this game. Even though the shotguns are really well made too, but that's besides the point. Then they added bullet drop, and sure, it may really not do much in the grand scheme of thing, but I don't know if they changed it. Remember, I'm only going off my brain. I've stopped interacting with the hunt community and like videos and stuff after a while. It gutted pistols completely, just fucking, you know. I made a motion of like I'm gutting something. Well, a person, I guess, standing in front of me really is like so what do I mean by this? Pistols got fucking decimated. You can barely use them across the compound, much less across any other, like moderate distance. And that really upset me because the pistols were. Oh my god, my friend had a great point. Finishing water. He said he doesn't think he would stick with the game like I did. I mean, like, because I introduced it to him. He said he doesn't think he would stick with the game with me if pistols weren't so consistent. What he meant by that was, um, it's the learning curve to pick up any gun, even within the same family and hunt. He mentioned like how, like it's still really like picking up Romero with Romero Alamo is so different just because you keep forgetting you have all the extra ammo. That if you and he also mentioned like he would always train himself with a Romero to get his shots on accurately, and then said, "Yeah, it was hard as shit, which is why I've perfected my pistol game first, so I could always have something to fall back on." He said, "A pistol is good any distance within the distance of probably two compounds if you consider the center and then like towards the edge almost to the next compound." He said, "If you miss your shot and you're out of ammo and you need to reload, you should always have that revolver in your back pocket that is consistent. You know how much ammo it takes. The cycle time is relatively quick and has a decent enough reload that you can interrupt and get to firing immediately if you need to. Pistols are the lifeblood of hunt," or something along those lines. He said that before you can master the hunt, before you can master any sort of rifle or shotgun in the game, you gotta master the pistol. So you have a consistent fallback option that will never fail you. But considering how important headshots are in the game, because pistols have pretty low damage, considering it only encourages you even more to master proper shot placement to hit them in the head as opposed to the arm or the leg or anything else. Which is why them having bullet drop so drastically has ruined it, because now you can't use pistols outside of like the same building, even within the same compound as Because I remember it was like bad. And they still have fucking bullet drop as far as I'm aware, which sucks. I genuinely do not think bullet drop has a place in hunt, slight as it is. And it may sound like just idle rage from a man who is far past his hunt prime, but I mean it genuinely when I say hunt bullet drop still has no place in hunt. Bullet drop has no place in hunt. I'm doing the ram. What I am doing right now is messaging my bro, my hunt partner, my hunting mate. That guy I introduced the game to first, not the guy who made the pistols ramble. He was a genius too. But the guy I introduced Hunt to first that took to it like a fucking duck does water. Um, uh, so, uh, he took to it like a duck to water. Better than me, more hours than me. He was genuinely the best of us. Um, I'm just quickly asking him if he has any messages he wishes to impart to you all, because I know he was the. Was I more devastated or was he more devastated when Hunt started taking the turn? The engine update's just the tip of it. All of us were really fucking upset by it, by the way, because that was our game. So I'm just really quickly asking him if he has any messages to relay to us, and then we'll just see if he'll end up responding for tonight. But I remember at the time him agreeing that Bullet Drop has no place in Hunt. I don't know if he's changed his mind since. I know he's like occasionally tested the waters with the game and came back to report and been like, yeah, it's just still not really like it used to be. And if the options are adapt or give up, I'm giving up. I see that take on the Reddit all the time. It's like, oh, these people are complaining. When where you check their Steam and when they last play, that's right, they're playing right now or some shit like that. I'm sticking to my guns. I haven't played in a fucking year. But I want to preface, I genuinely loved the fucking Hunt gameplay loop so very much. The rifle gameplay was perfect. I remember swapping from lever action to bolt action. Like the change alone was so drastic. But I started mastering the Berthier. Berthier was my fucking baby. She was my workhorse. Up there with the Martini. I never got into the Sparks. I didn't get the Sparks hype. The Martini has everything the Sparks wants, but better. Sleeker look, quicker reload, better ammo. More importantly, her sounds are just But that's, it's me being weird again. Yeah. Outside of, a hand cannon version, as far as I'm aware. Sparks pistol, I will concede is bitchin'. But again, right, I like Hunt. The melee weapons are great. I still wish there was an in-world pickaxe melee weapon. Right, we got the shovel, we got the hammer, we got the axe, we got the pitchfork. Where's the pickaxe? It would work so well for so many of the compounds. King Snake jumps to mind immediately. But like Salter's Port wouldn't be a bad place for it neither, nor the docks. I could see it fitting in the docks. Right, just a bit, The quarry, Reeves Quarry. I think it was Reeves Quarry. And a few other places, right? A pickaxe could fit just right there. Whatever. Thirsty again, but I don't want to like move and lean to grab the bottle. Ugh. Anyway. Ugh. I'm still a little bit sick, like tiny, tiny, tiny bit sick. It was bad for a while. Like I couldn't think about food. And if you know me, my food videos, I love talking about food. But no, dude, I could not stand the sight, nor scent, nor thought of food. Like the first day I was sick, the only thing I ate all day was an apple. At least I drank lots of water. It took a while before I got some Pepto-Bismol or something like that to sate to me, soothe me, whatever you want to say. Whatever. I'm occasionally like alt-tabbing, checking if he's responded yet. So far, nothing. But whatever he has to say, I will relay it, as is my solemn duty, as that guy's friend. If you're listening to this, that's good. Uh, Also, literally anybody, please in the comments give suggestions for what me to do rambles about. If this is the first time you've seen my stuff, check out the rest of my things. I'm just rambling about topics. Usually, up to this point, it was almost all outside of the gaming content I made, which is just playing games. Usually was just talking about various writing stuff and my opinions or like how I go about doing it. Um, If anybody has ideas, please give them to me. Otherwise, I will literally just pull up Wikipedia list of different tropes or like TV tropes, list of tropes, and talk about my opinions on them or something. I don't fucking know. I need this as a hobby, man, please. Anyway, what was I saying? Um, I don't know. Pretty much just like re-emphasizing the fact that I really did fucking enjoy this game wholeheartedly. All the tips and tricks, right? Don't worry, I fucking hated Water Devils too. Water Devils, of course, having been an inspiration for some of the enemies I've made in my worlds, plural. Rotjaw, I took her stats and I made her into a D&D monster and I threw her at my party at one point, right? Uh, it's a few other things. I think I would, dude, the spider and an inside joke being one of the hunter's names, which is the funniest shit we've ever seen, ended up in my one of my friends' D&D campaigns as a pivotal plot moment, right? The fact that he came from Hunt to everyone else was like a background thing. It was a great, like me and him, we like fucking our brainwaves synced up. I got it, and I was emotional when he died in the campaign, right? It was a good scene. Like, oh man, like Hunt has mattered to us a lot. One of my favorite shirts that I don't know if you caught this, maybe you just know when you piece it together. Every time I go over to his house, my friend who took to Hunt like a duck to water, he bought me that shirt one. I think it was for Christmas. It was the beast face trait on the shirt, the official Hunt Showdown merch. He got I think he got tomahawk. I know he has necromancer. Um, I literally wear that every time I go to his house. Just be like, yeah, man, this is something my friend got me. I'll wear it again. And it's one of my most worn shirts. It's comfy as fuck. I used to play it while I played. I used to wear it while I played Hunt and everything. It's one of my favorite shirts. Thanks again. That's for me, man. By the way. Um, Like, Hunt is the most important game to me, which is why I'm so upset at its shift. What was its death knell? I fucking prophesized it. We all fucking prophesized it. Us being the trio that we are, when we saw that in the fucking our server, Discord server's got like the Hunt news bot, Hunt Showdown official general announcements, and I remember seeing it. Do you know what I'm on about? I hope so. What I am, of course, speaking upon is it, the Ghostface collaboration. First of all, it was ugly. Just want that out of the way first. First of all, it was ugly. Second of all, it made no sense. Third of all, nobody but the bootlickers liked it. There are so many fucking corporate bootlickers for Hunt, right? Because, I don't know, Hunt's my game. Oh, you just want Hunt to stay niche, don't you? Oh, don't you get it? The art team and the game display team are completely separate departments, right? They're not in charge of gameplay. Stop complaining that they're just making more skins, more content for you, bro. Who cares? Who cares about the collaborations? It'll make Hunt just get bigger. Yeah, the fuck it did. We are literally bleeding players, despite all the collaborations they do, i.e. that fuck-ass Post Malone one. There's something like wrong with Hunt in its core. You like wake the fuck up. We're in the we're we're in the death knell of this. The game is death rattling. We are bleeding players, and I'm one of them. And I will not return to Hunt until many of my issues are sated. I will. I don't know. At one point, explain what my issues are or something. I don't fucking know. I remember seeing that ugly ass Ghostface skin, and I was like, fuck it, fine. I'll accept it, only because it's not something big, it's just something they throw out there. I didn't get why it was Ghostface they partnered with, but I guess there's not much else they can partner with now, is there? We made the joke of like, oh yeah, this means Hunt is officially canon to Fortnite, and same thing with like, oh yeah, Hunt's also officially canon to DBD. And I'm like, you followed the thread all the way up to like what weird ass game it's canon to technically with the advent of Ghostface and shit like that, but whatever. So you may be thinking to yourself, cheese underscore stick one, why do you viscerally hate the Ghostface collab and consider it the death knell of the game? It's fucking Ground Zero. I guess Ground Zero is the engine update. It's Ground 0.1. because like the bootlickers encouraged it, right? They weren't fucking unnoticeable by the higher ups. I guarantee you this much. We should have raised more of a fit. Less people should have bought it. I saw people like, oh, haha, I'm buying it just to make chuds mad. Like, dude, have some fucking self-respect. A, it doesn't even look good. B, the precedent. What a precedent it set. Post Malone's Murder Circus. An entire fucking event themed centered around Post Malone. Holy shit, that infuriate me. Back to the Ghostface things. I can't stay on this topic for much longer without getting mad. What was my issue with it? Outside of it not fitting Hunt Showdown. Its lore was shitty, I'll tell you that much right now. Oh yeah, the mask is like the representation of pure evil. That's cool, I don't mind that, but Ghostface mask has never been that, because that's Michael Myers' thing. Not that I wanted a Michael Myers collaboration, right? Lord knows I didn't want a fucking Halloween collab with my Hunt Showdown game, but it just... he was just wearing the Ghostface suit, complete with the mask that was a little bit differently stylized, with an ugly-ass cap that probably came from the Mountie, if I'm remembering correctly. It clashed. It clashed so hard. Art style clash. Up until this point, all the skins, I don't want to say all the skins, but just about all the skins fit with this grungy, dark, like Southern Gothic persona that we had going on. Like, consider, compare the Ghostface skin to the Penitent, who I play. I constantly play the Penitent, right? That was my skin, because again, my bro bought that for me. Thanks once again. Like, just making sure. Hunch. Pretty sure it's the name of it. Yep, Penitent. He bought it for me. By the way, he made us for, my God bless his fucking heart, for Christmas, these little hand-stitched dolls of our main skins, complete with the weapons we run. Bless his fucking heart. I love it. It's over there. I love grabbing it by the head because the barbed wire hurts my hands. It's just twisted armature wire and stuff, but yeah, still. He bought the penitent for me because he knows I love the aesthetic. He asked me like, "Oh, hey, if you were gonna get a hunt skin, what would it be?" I was like, "Oh, probably the penitent." And we talked a little bit why, I mentioned before I love the theme of overarching zealotry. It's what like there's a D&D character I have made that I will play soon, I hope. That's whole idea is based around that. Maybe I'll talk about D&D wholeheartedly one day. And Lord knows I have much to say on it, right? That's stuff like the other shit, right? Um, whatever. Getting off topic. Consider Ghostface to the Penitent, or consider Ghostface to the Black Coat, or consider Ghostface to the Wayward Helmsman. Is it Wayward or Drowned Helmsman? Consider Ghostface to Gar, right? To Phallus, to the Reptilian. Is it the Reptilian? Um, to the Scarecrow, right? And see the clash. To fucking Kane, right? To the Reaper, to La Luz Mala, to fucking what's her name? Oh, damn it, what's her name? Ugh, whatever. And even the more normal people, like the fucking turncoat and the statesman and the private eye, right? And the reverend, they all have a thing going on. It's very clear, or especially when you look into their lore, or even like just, oh, they're crazy people lore. Like look in like the Killbuyer, and ah, man, who is the insane asylum victim? I used to know his name. His knife. He has like a knife. It's like a pane of glass. Um, right? They all have a thing going, or they all have like a clear vibe with them that Ghostface did not fucking match. Yeah. He. Oh, I'm getting nauseous. Look it up. He doesn't look good. His stupid fucking fuck ass cloak, that ugly ass cap. And I guess it's kind of cool that his mask is like more wooden. At least they didn't go fucking plastic, right? But it just doesn't work. I just Daughter of Decay, that's who I was thinking of. I love the Daughter of Decay. She looks nice. That's a good ass skin. I think he came with a knife at least, which is, cool, but I couldn't with him. I couldn't. People, this is a fucking poor faith argument, and you fucking know that. Thank you. Southern Gothic aesthetic is not the same as slapping promotional tie-ins to a game, and you know that. I just looked up a stupid fucking poor faith argument. It's like, oh, people, oh, Ghostface doesn't fit in Hunt, Mimo and Hunt, and they posted pictures of the Reaper, the Luzmala, the two pagan skins names I don't remember, uh, Scourge and what's her name, the two scrap beak based skins. This guy, I don't know his name. Lonely Howl. Ooh, Rochester's skin, not his official skin, but I forgot the name of it. The one with the arm missing. That's literally just the guy who works at dogs. The penitent. Yeah, they're very fucking different, asshole. Okay, okay, I'll be real. The samurai skin I had never really fucked with. Uh, Devil's Advocate. You're not putting in Devil's Advocate in your shitty bad face argument for why Ghostface totally fits Hunt Showdown, bro. Serpent's Moon skin, Killbuyer. Yeah, these fit Hunt. What? I lost my train of thought after seeing this really bad faith argument. Holy shit, that's such a yeah, sure. Hunt Showdown has people in cloaks and masks all the time. The problem is this is fucking the fucking ghost face costume. It didn't fit. And we had those people over there, like either, oh yeah, dude, it totally fits. Look, they gave him a hat, or look, they gave him a cloak or an updated look. They tweaked him. It was not an updated look, motherfucker. Or you get the people saying like, oh, lay off them. They need money. If they need money, they could release an on fucking theme skin, assholes. I looked at this. I was in a call with my friends when it came out. I was like, okay, this is gonna, you know what? I'll accept this if they never do it again. I won't buy it, but because I have fucking morals. None of them bought it either. But I'll accept that this happened, even if I don't want to talk about it ever. So long, because I genuinely liked Hunt Showdown for not having those collab tie-ins. Because what do those really do outside of ruin your fucking aesthetic? And then we were all like, okay, yeah, sure, but Hunt's too niche to really get big tie-ins, right? And we all had a big laugh about it and was like, alright, this will just be a flop. Apparently it wasn't enough of a fucking flop, or maybe it was even, God forbid, a success. Genuinely, God forbid, a success. I hate the fucking, oh, God. Post Malone's Murder Circus. Now, I'm one for the circus aesthetic in horror games, right? We're all a big fan of the big top. Usually black and white instead of red and white. And the murderous clowns, the dance macabre. Dance macabre. Where did I get that from? I swear it's been in my brain ever since. Dance macabre. What is this refers to? It's a painting? Huh. Why the fuck have I been thinking about you for like a year? Dance macabre, dance macabre. Hmm. Weird. Anyway. The murder circus, right? The whole idea of like this traveling circus of death. Some real Herman Fuller shit. The Herman Fuller's a lot different, but I just gotta make my SB connections where I can. I gotta forget. Let me have this, okay? I'm still mourning the loss of Hunt. My eyes got teary, and it's not even just an aesthetic thing. There's also a few gameplay differences I'll bring up. They took an entire event, themed around this idea of this traveling circus with this twisted showman who's bringing all sorts of like death and decay to the bayou, taking this twisted, awful scenario and trying to make a quick buck out of it in a traveling circus, complete with all the trick shots and tamed animals, air quotes, with the bear, dude, the bear. Bears plural, right? The grunt's got a new design with the clown motif and everything. It was so cool, and you best believe, Curtain Call was an amazing song that I also have on repeat all the time. And when it came time to reveal everything, they got Post Malone to do it. I was like, okay. Because before this, they had the Post Malone interview. I was like, oh, I didn't know he played. That's kind of cool. We have a celebrity playing us. That's nice. That'll probably get some attention. And it's kind of cool to know he's playing. Little did I know, he would be the front man for the trailer. Oh, wait a minute. What does that say at the bottom? At the end of the trailer? Post Malone's Murder Circus. What? Because it turns out he wasn't the frontman for the trailer. No, no, no. He was the frontman for the event. No, he was the main theme of the event. Gone was the circus shit. No, it's Post Malone. It's Post Malone, the ringmaster. One of the weapon charms was his diamond-studded teeth with PM on them. Tons of the weapons in the themed battle pass had PM engraved on them from Post Malone. He had a skin complete with all of his tattoos. Several other things had his fucking name slathered all over this shit. He got to design his own fucking trait. I'll concede, the trait wasn't bad. I will be pissed forevermore that it took them ages to update it to work with my baby, the fucking Martini Henry. Fuckers. But at least it was like a fine enough trait. I got the idea. But like, you see the precedent that's set? The idea that we can just have fucking celebrity crossing tie-overs come in and run roughshod over all this shit? Unironically, the circus theming took a backseat in favor of slapping his name on everything. He streamed it like once. And like the Hunt Twitter was all over fucking Post Malone, all the news feed shit, like, oh, Post Malone's coming to the bayou. I was fuming mad. By this point, I already stopped playing the game. My friends were just fucking pissed. We hated seeing him in ads and shit. I'll be back. I need to go use the bathroom. I'm back. I don't remember what I was saying, so I'll just continue on with the rough topic. Look, if you don't get why I was so upset with Post Malone being the center of this event theme, I genuinely have no fucking idea what to say to you. Because surely you can understand my rage and indignation at the idea that an entire theme in one of my favorite games has him as the linchpin for all of it. I it had a it had a cool fucking like traveling sort like it would literally show up at, if I remember correctly, at different parts of the map. By the way, side note, where the fuck is the rain? Where the fuck is the ash balloon? Where the fuck is the inferno? Where the fuck is the dark inferno? It's in the files. We've had them before. Why can't they come back? It is a genuine question of why can't they come back. And if it's engine problems, why the fuck did we update ever? Nobody asked for it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Hunt had these. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Devil's Moon had the Inferno event. The Tides had the Rain and the Ash Moon events. What am I talking about? So during the Devil's Moon event, there was an event going on where the maps would have a huge swath of them overtaken with this massive wildfire. It was not only literal fire that would like damage you if you went through it, but it was great cover visually and sound cue wise, and had like paths through the fire you would have to wind through. It was like such a unique experience to go through these maps that you knew on a raging inferno and have to go around it or go through it. You know, the smoke clouding the area around it, making it hard to see. The firefights around it were beautiful. This ambient sounds amazing. It went away when Devil's Moon went away. I understood that. Kind of cool. I wish it could come back occasionally, and sometimes I think it did. Maybe I'm gaslighting myself into believing that. And then we had, was it rain first or was it the ash bloom first? I think it was first the rain. Then we had the rain. This was during the Tides. The Tides trilogy. Tide of Shadows, Tide of fucking... I used to know. Tide of Shadows, Tide of Desolation, Tide of something. Tides trilogy had bitchin' music except for Burial at Sea because she was too quiet. I couldn't hear what she was saying. But the instrumental was bitchin'. So the rain, I believe, was first, which is what supposedly snuffed the Inferno, if I remember correctly from lore. Torrential rain. The entire map was dim, and there was constant rain in the background, acting as an ambient noise, making like muffling sounds just a bit. And then occasionally it would come down hard. If it was raining in the map, it would be raining always, and occasionally it would get harder. There was also thunder and like lightning that would occasionally light up the sky. It was so cool. But when it came down harder, boy, did it come down hard. You would know it came down harder. Because first, all the crows in the map would spook. Right? Crows are a thing you can spook. They're a sound trap. If you have Beast Face, the radius is lessened. You can throw, with some like tech, you can poison or throw a lantern on them to silence them and kill the crows. They don't fly away, stuff like that. Or you can just avoid them, things of that nature. They stand on like fence posts or near like holes in the wall, and if you don't crouch around them, you'll like spook them and like alert hunters to where you are. They can track them towards you by the sound and the way they're in the direction away they're flying, stuff like that. The rain would spook all crows on the map when it came down hard. It would, and it would come down hard. It would sound so heavy, and it would obscure your vision immensely. Why am I sound so excited about this? Because it gave amazing opportunities for pushes. It was a great stalemate breaker in a gunfight, giving you like ample opportunity to like reposition yourself, to grab a new angle, to try to hold down your existing angles because you can't see a damn thing except for silhouettes in the distance that you might be hallucinating because you're paranoid and stressed and crazy. It was an amazing, genuinely, oh my god, it was an amazing event. Everybody loved the rain, unequivocally. Everybody loved the rain, flat out fucking adored that shit. And they got rid of it because again the event passed. But I know for a fact this one took around. It came around every now and again. But the ash bloom, that was something else. So the ash bloom would also, if I remember correctly, spook crows. I know it's no, I don't think it spooked crows, and it spooked dogs. Dogs would go crazy during the ash bloom. They hated it. Dogs are another sort of sound trap. They would stay in cages, and if you got too close, they would start barking incessantly, and they had a pretty big detection range. You could shoot the lantern over the top of their cage to yeah, burn them to death. Same with chickens. But they would, make the fire would make noise. They would hear the crack of you shooting the cage down, shooting the lantern down, and the fire could be used as a way to be like, oh, someone was here before. How could you tell? Burn cage. Uh, but like the name suggests, the ash would bloom and encompass all around you. It was a little silent outside of a little hiss as the sound cue came in for it to pop up. But it was another sort of like, how do you say, amazing repositioning tool. It was great for spicing up gunfights and was another great stalemate breaker. I don't know why the fuck they ever went away. And they have to still be in the files. Why the fuck are they not back? They went through all the effort. They were in unequivocal success. Everybody loved them. Where the fuck are my weather events, Crytek? You already made them. Bring them back, please, God. Anyway, that's my original point. I sum up Murder Circus. No, before that I was talking about the music, which Curtain Call came out, right? Why couldn't they have called it Curtain Call instead of Post Malone's Murder Circus? But whatever. My indignant rage at Post Malone being the linchpin of this event can be minorly bypassed. All for the sake of saying. Also, I'm pretty sure the tent would pop up in different places on the map, which is kind of cool. can be minorly looked over just for the sake of enjoying the event. I genuinely considered hopping back on. And then it came to Hunt Showdown. Let me take a breath, study myself. I hope you know what I'm talking about. Hope you know what I'm genuinely furious of. And I mean this actual frothing rage when I first figured out how this thing works, when I first learned about it, when a friend had to tell me about it. When we looked at Rochta's videos about it, when we checked out Hornet's channel to see if he's posted about it. I don't think Homereel made a video on it. Poor Homereel. He got a job at Crytek just before he went to shit. Hope you're doing good, lad. Loves your content. Hope you're happy. I mean, he's never expressed being unhappy, unless it's on Twitter and I didn't say it or something. But, like, I don't know, the heel turn must have been pretty upsetting. I remember being happy for him. Like, oh, you got a job at Crytek. That's really cool, man. But he got a job as, I'm pretty sure, community manager, which was, what will it take to love Hunt Showdown again, man? Something big. And then it came to Hunt Showdown. The wretched creation. The awful spawn. The saw blade launcher. The saw launcher, whatever the fuck it was called. Allow me a moment to look it up again, just to remind myself of its stats. Saw launch. Hunt Showdown. And then we look up. Let me Control Z because I accidentally erased that. Stats. I don't give a shit, Google. I don't care about your fucking AI. Okay, wiki.gg. That's good. The Shredder, it was called. I called it the Saw Launcher. I believe you were semi-automatic. Of a kind, at least. Excuse me while excuse me just while I read it getting patched just a bit. So. So. It had this saw blade launcher, a magazine capacity of 6. On launch it had 12 in reserve. It was changed to 6 in update 2.2.0.1 because they knew it was bullshit. It was found in the circus itself. You could buy it for pledge marks, which they reworked how to get pledge marks in the murder circus. I don't remember how to get it anymore, right? And good lord above. And it could bounce off of walls. Now, this had never happened before in Hunt Showdown. In fact, usually when bullets hit the wall, they would either go through or they would stop, depending on your ammo type and the kind of wall. Never before had we had a heat-seeking weapon in Hunt Showdown. Hunt Showdown, a game where positioning is key. Hunt Showdown, a game where accuracy is important. Hunt Showdown, a game where having a wall separating you from your enemy is one of the greatest things you could have. Hunt Showdown, a game of patience, a game of precision. Now has the Shredder. It was removed. Don't worry. It was only for the event. A whole 2-month event, I believe it was. Don't worry, it was just for the fucking event. Whoops, I paused by accident. Of which there was only one, by the way. There was only one saw launcher per match. You could take it with you, by the way, if you extracted with it. You could take it with you. And oh boy, would we have trios running the saw launcher who did not need to give a fuck about what they were aiming at. Just kind of in your vague direction. Why am I so mad about this? Outside of completely breaking the fucking mechanics of the game? Maybe because it one-shotted. 300 damage. Sure, there was damage fall-off. And it had bleed. Pretty solid bleed from what I remember. Real bad bleed. So it one-shotted. Again. 6 in a mag. On release, 12 in reserve. On patch, 6 in reserve. Oh, yay. 2 mags. There are at most 12 people in the lobby from what I remember. What the fuck? Oh, but don't you worry your pretty little head, Hunter. Because it has an ammo type, too. Frag blades. As in frag grenades. Maybe thinking, oh, great. They're just explosive. It lowers their damage significantly. It's fine. Oh. Haven't you heard? They still fucking bounce. They still fucking target hunters. And they absolutely fucking one-shot. Their explosions also cause medium bleeding. Oh, don't worry. It reduced the ammo capacity. Not capacity, reduced... Did it? Damage lowered. Drop range lowered. Muzzle velocity lowered. Holy fuck, it didn't change the ammo capacity. What the fuck were they thinking? Oh, also, I'm pretty sure you could pick back up your ammo. If you weren't using Frag Bomb. Yep, Blade Seer. Like, I don't even know... This isn't something I can explain to someone who's never played the game. This is only something that you could get if you played the game. The actual oppressiveness this weapon had and the awful knock-on effect that had on Hunt Showdown. At the time, of course. Of course. Of course at the time. Of course at the time. Ignoring the percussion rifle, whose name I don't remember, because I don't give a shit. I think he was a Caldwell for a while. And look it up. I know it has the shitty new names. At a point, I just called it what its actual name was. Hunt Percussion Cap Rifle. Right, hunt is an actual word. Hunt Showdown. They did a cap and ball rifle. Yes, they did. Officer carbine. Let me look. Let me get a look at you, girl. What actually are you? You're Spencer. You're the Maynard rifle. That's what you are. The Maynard rifle, of which I believe it could only be with a scope. Is that true? Is that true? I don't fucking remember. Anyway, the Maynard rifle. She was... No, was the Maynard rifle the Spencer rifle, or was that the carbine aperture? Spencer carbine, that's what you were. That's what you were. Fuck me. You were a pretty gun. But it was a start shift. I don't know if you noticed it when you played. He has responded. Something else. He would fulfill the oath of the ancients. He would indeed. That's something unrelated. If you didn't know, that fuck-ass cap and ball rifle and the Spencer carbine, they were quick as a whippet. They reloaded faster. They had more ammo. Shouldering them, I swear the Lord above was quicker. Their stats were all around better. These guns were... thank you, thank you. We'll see to that. Anything else? These... I swear to the Lord above... The fucking Spencer carbine. When you reloaded it, you fucking put in 2 bullets at a time. Fuck. No other gun does that. No fucking traits do that. Nothing lets you do that. Why the fuck does this gun get the right? At least I had an amazing skin. What the fuck gives this gun the right to be faster than any other gun in the game? What the fuck gives this gun the right to cycle quicker than any other gun in the game? What the fuck gives this gun the right to hit hard on top of that? To have a magazine capacity on top of that? To have great ammo capacity and reserves on top of that? What the fuck gave the Maynard rifle the right to be, I believe, the strongest rifle? What the fuck gives the new guns the right to be quicker, to be meta-defining, to be fucking oppressive? Who the fuck had the idea to shorten the Crowning King? I'm gonna use the bathroom again. Whose bright fucking idea was it to give the Dolch ammo types as well? An idea so bad, it had to be fucking kneecapped. They gave the Dolch the one of two semi-automatic pistols, the Dolch being modeled after the Mauser broom handle, the Dolch having 10-round magazine. Who the fuck gave the Dolch dum-dum ammo? Dum-dum ammo, meaning it has bleed now. The semi-automatic pistol that fires quick as fuck with 10-round magazine. They had to kneecap that, by the way. They had to revert the change, kind of. What they ended up doing was giving it the scarce trait, meaning you can no longer buy the ammo. They made the mistake of announcing this, alongside letting everyone know they weren't going to be wiping people's profiles of the ammo, meaning people bought and bought and bought and bought and bought with hunt dollars, the in-game currencies, whatever, it's fine. Like, they weren't spending real money, and bought and bought and bought Dolch Dum Dum ammo so they could slap that bitch on any Dolch they wanted. Well, technically, they just bought a bunch of Dolches with Dum Dum ammo, right? That's what they did, right? But like all their hunters. Which means, like, the people who were good, it won't affect. So it's just making anybody who doesn't either bring that or instantly kill them, like, bad. Right? Like, not bad. What am I trying to say? Like, people it wants to affect are fucking untouched. I.e., the people who are good at the game who play long enough to develop a skill at the game and have the money to just do that bullshit, right? Or play long enough to have an absurd amount of like hunter slots. Someone went out of their way to spend as many blood bonds as they could on hunter slots, and then as many hunt dollars as they could to keep buying those dum-dums. I remember seeing that shit. Because someone thought, oh yeah, well, let's give the fucking Dolch some stupid fucking ammo type. Yeah, let's give it dum-dum ammo. MJ was like, fine, I guess. What the fuck did you... They also on that same fucking update, they gave the Dolch a precision, a claw, and I want to say a silencer. I don't know how true that is. New tab, Hunt Showdown. Dolch silencer. Does not. Okay. Remember they gave that to the Bornheim instead. It's like, why the fuck did they give it to Bornheim and silencer? There was like memeing, like, oh yeah, look at this Dolch precision with like Deadeye, with fucking drum with a silencer and shit. Like, everyone's memeing about it, but I don't know. It was fucking. I don't know. It pissed me the fuck off. I thought it was a stupid choice, and evidently, hey, what do you know? It was. So, what did I mean before? Where I believe the Spencer rifle, whatever the fuck it's actually called, where I believe the Spencer rifle and the Maynard rifle are literally just unequivocally the best guns in hunt. I don't know how much of it is like me being fucking crazy, but I'm like convinced they either at least know the fucking Spencer rifle reloads quick as a whippet, right? Uh, what is happening in Europe? Why the fuck do we have to sign the what is huh? What is happening with this power software guy? What? Stop killing games. What is this? Why did this guy make a basic fuck? Whatever, we'll figure this out later. It's not hard to have your game live on if you just give the ability for players to get like dedicated servers. Plenty of games have done that to success. It's so fucking stupid. God, I hate Nintendo and their gaming and their practices for consumer practices. Fucking, God, I hate them so much. Proudly did not buy Switch 2. Proudly did not buy Switch 2. If you bought it, you should be ashamed. Um, you not give a shit about the consumer? So, I at the very least know the Spencer reloads quicker than anything else, right? Like, when you consider its mag capacity and like how it reloads and shit. The Maynard rifle also reloads very quickly with solid damage to boot, good fucking reserve. It is only a sniper. All the fucking good that does, right? And shit like that, dude. Like, they cycle quick. They have good ammo. Bunch of other shit. They don't have flaws. These guns don't have fucking flaws. And no, it having a scope isn't a flaw when Quartermaster, right? And then you can bring a fucking, I don't know, Vandal or something. It's just... Hunt made fuck up after fuck up after fuck up after that damn engine update, I swear to the Lord above. Case in point, the newest fuck up. It finally released, several days late. Fool's Judgment, new fucking event. Never before had I seen such incompetence by the devs. By any devs. You literally could not play the game if you wanted to. And then I saw on the Reddit the bootlickers defending it, saying, "Oh, these fucking chuds writing negative reviews. Oh, just because they couldn't play the game for one day." First of all, that is worthwhile for a negative review. You literally, if you wanted to play the game, could not because of comments from the devs where they had to fucking purge the servers because, I don't know, they didn't foresee some fuck up with their event when that many people were on. Like, I guess, sure, a catastrophic event nobody could have seen coming, but like, what the fuck did they even add in the update? I actually don't know. I'm not giving a shit to look it up. Um, but I don't even think it was just like you couldn't play the event when it came out. People have like came out on posts like that and were like, yeah, no, it wasn't just the event. It was just like a long time coming. It was just the shit that made me, open up Steam and swap my review to negative. I was gonna write a positive review, right? Like a little bit before I stopped playing, and I was like, I'll do it later. Now I think I might go on my way to write a fucking negative review. I know my boy, he swapped his to negative from what I remember. Just double check if it is that way still. It's just like, it's frustrating. This game I gave so much of a fuck about turned into this shit. Let's check his reviews. Not recommended. I fucking... Dude, he's got 600 hours. He slapped it up there. His old review is just like... Wait, it's... He like kept the copy paste like his old review and just like, but then added it. It was really... Hmm. I'll finish this off with what he said, what he told me to like remind everything of. They took the sauce out of gun names. He calls it the sauce. I call it the soul. We hate each other. Yeah, they did. They took the lore books out of Hunt too, by the way. Good thing people have archived them onto a website. One that I have pinned to my Taskbar. Hunt books of lore books of Hunt Showdown. Huntstats.com. All community made, and the lore of the library right there. The books as they used to be in their configuration. Shame that we don't have the image for the Hellhound or for the Armored. But I believe we have every other image, thankfully. So, what did he say? He said they took the sauce out of the gun names. It's the reason I brought up the book. You can go and you can check it out for yourself. I don't believe they... Wait, they better not have fucking changed it. Oh, thank God. Wait. Oh, God, oh, God, oh, God. Wait. Book weapons. We got to, Oh, it's Mako Carbine. Martini Henry, Mosin Nagant, Springfield, Federally, Winfield. Yeah, they're all called Winfields. Yes, still Winfield. Still Caldwell's, thank God. In fuck the engine update, they changed the names of the guns. It used to be the Caldwell conversion uppercut. Now it's the uppercut. If you didn't, you wouldn't know unless you scanned the weapons with your brain and shit like that, that it was a Caldwell family pistol unless you knew ahead of time. Right. They named the upper mat, which was the Liam Lamat, into the Haymaker. No Lamat configuration, none of that shit. You wouldn't know it was a Lamat unless someone told you. You know, to fit with the Lamat carbine. All the Winfields got their names changed. It became the Centennial instead of the Winfield Centennial. It became the Ranger instead of the Winfield 1873C. It became the Frontiersman instead of the Winfield 1873. It's like the Vandal instead of the Winfield Vandal. Things like that. It's no longer the Caldwell Rival, it's the Rival. It's no longer the Caldwell Lightning, it's the Lightning, or something like that. Let me just actually double check what the fuck the Caldwell, whatever the Colt Lightning was called. Was it called the Lightning? Rifles. Caldwell Marathon. No, Caldwell Marathon, that's what they were called. She was a good gun, I loved her. Back when I played. Now it's just called the Marathon, if I remember correctly. Right? No, they're no longer Scott Fields. I don't know what the fuck they're called. Some bullshit like that. They got rid of the soul of the names. They got rid of the soul of a lot of shit. Fucking Shelling. Goddamn Ghostface. Fucking Small Circus. Goddamn Maynard rifle. Fucking Spencer rifle. Some other shit that I can't wrap my head around thinking right now. I'm mad. I made myself upset. I'm gonna go, I don't know, fucking play some games or something. Calm down. That game's a hunt, though. Fuck no, that game's a hunt. I need to calm myself down. If only I had a bottle of whiskey nearby. Instead, I got some water. I'll take a sip of this. Work on my writing. And see you in the next video. I wish I could stay. I still love Hunt Showdown. I'm more in the game daily, you know. Anyway, thank you for listening to this. I really needed this because I have kept this boiling over for a while, so catch you next time. Don't forget to give me ideas on what to do, please. Thank you.